What's up, guys? We're finally back with another video. This one obviously a little bit different because we're of course not out in the woods, but I'm actually preparing for tomorrow's trip, which will be to the Cumberland Gap National Historic Park. Somewhere I've never been, so it should be fun. So you should be seeing that video hopefully in a few days. I don't know. We'll just have to see how that goes. But in this video, what I want to do is kind of give you a rundown of what all I'm taking, talk a little bit why I'm taking it. Now, before we get into it, I want to start off by just saying that this is really overkill for this trip. It's just a day trip. We're not doing an overnight or anything crazy. So I'm taking kind of a lot, and there's a few reasons for that. Number one, I'm taking quite a bit of camera equipment because I don't really know what to expect for the area. I don't suspect this will be a huge photography trip, simply because I haven't really planned this out, so I'm not planning to get to like a cool overlook for sunrise or anything like that. Just gonna wing it. It's mostly for hiking. And the extra weight I'm okay with because, like I said, this is just a day trip. It's not a backpacking trip, so a little bit of an extra workout, not gonna kill us. Now, in front of me I got most of the equipment laid out. Let me pick you up here and show you. So you can kind of see here I got everything all laid out. There's a couple things you won't see in this. Number one, I now have a GoPro, finally. So that's what I'm using to record this video, so of course you're not going to see it. You're also not going to be able to see the tripod for the GoPro, because it's on it, but it's just one of those GoPro 3-way, 3-in-1 arms, whatever they call it. Don't remember what it's called, I just got it today. Like that, the other portion of it sitting here, so you might recognize it. But not the GoPro, and I'm also taking my sound recorder device, which is a Zoom H1, and my boom microphone, my shotgun microphone. And the reason you can't see those, let me show you here, is because I have a really ghetto setup here. I use my old camera, a Canon T3. It's on a portion of my tripod, which I'll also be taking rather. So as you can see, I got the Zoom H1 rubber banded to the tripod, and then the mic just attached to that. So it's a really sort of simple, albeit kind of ghetto, boom microphone. So hopefully that's getting the job done. I actually didn't test this before I recorded this, so that might have been a mistake. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into what I'm taking. And the most logical place to start is right here with the pack. So this is made by a company called F-Stop Gear. I really like this bag. This is the Talopa BC. The difference between the Talopa and the Talopa BC mainly is the size. This is, I think, 2 liters smaller. There are a few gripes I have about this bag, which I'll get into, but overall I really like it. So what F-Stop does, they make bags kind of suited to outdoor activities like backpacking and hiking. So this looks like a normal sort of backpacking bag until you flip it over to the back. You'll see it's got this chamber that you can open, and the whole back folds down. And then you buy these little, they're called ICUs, and these are what you put your camera in. And on the door you also got a few other little storage pouches here and there. But otherwise, it's just like a backpacking bag. You've got a lid with some storage in it. Also, inside the lid there's another little storage pouch here. But then inside, whatever room you have left after the ICU is space you can use for other gear like jackets or what have you. There are different size ICUs. This is their small Pro ICU. Which brings me to my first gripe about this bag. And it's because of the ICU I picked. This ICU is a little too small for this bag because you'll notice I have a gear tie right here. And the reason I have this is pulling the frame. There's an aluminum frame in here. It's pulling it tight. And the reason why this ICU is so small, if you don't have this, it kind of pops out a little bit, and it will poke you in the back, and it's really uncomfortable. So that's great, number one. Not well designed for their smaller ICU, but that was easily fixed with a gear tie. I've been using this for a while now. It works fine. Over the summer, I went to Washington, D.C., and I took this bag as my main photo bag. And I mean, I was averaging walking 20 miles a day for that week, just doing photography, and it was fine. It was perfectly comfortable, quite functional, held up very well. My only other gripe about this bag is you'll notice there are nowhere to put like a bottle, like a Nalgene. What they say you should do is put it here in this pouch. I think that's kind of stupid. It's hard to get to. Poor design choice in my opinion. So what I did is the bottle I take, I clip it. I put a little carabiner here. You see it's got some webbing. And I just clip my bottles there. It's not the most ideal situation in the world because the bottle kind of swings around and will smack you in the leg. So it's not perfect, but I get by with it. And overall, I like the bag. I'm actually planning on getting a little bit different one this summer. But that's the bag. Like it. It's held up quite well. Taking it on some backpacking trips, you actually would have seen that on my Oxear Ridge video. I took that. Anyway, moving on. My main camera here is a Canon 70D. I absolutely love this camera. It's very rugged, does a good job. I would like a full frame camera, like a 5D Mark III, but unfortunately not in the budget at the moment. But I do really like that it has this tilty, flippy screen thing here. That comes in handy. But yeah, overall, good camera, quite like it. And on it, this strap is by a company called Topo Designs. They're based in Colorado. This is a nice strap, really tough. This is actually a piece of climbing rope, so it's extremely tough, and I just like the style of it. Yeah, all there is to say about that. So there's the camera, and then the lens. My Canon 24-105 f4L lens. Good all-around lens. Yeah, I would prefer something a little bit wider for landscapes, but again, not in the budget right now. L lenses, as you know, get expensive. I'd also like a zoom lens, like a 70-200L, but you know how that goes. Great lens, though. Really like it. Keeping up the camera theme, I got this little Pelican case. It's actually just a memory card holder, so nothing real fancy there. Just a memory card holder. Here we got just some assorted little stuff. These are the spikes for my tripod. So if you're using them on soil or gravel or something. The other tips it has are these rubberized tips. So, like tomorrow, it's probably just going to have the spikes on it. Then I got stuff like some lens pins, some lens wipes. Just throw those kind of all over in the bag. And this is just an Allen wrench. It fits the bolts on my tripod. So, quite handy to have. I got various camera triggers. The one I use most these days is my cable release. This is also an intervalometer. This is a really cheap one. It was like $15 on Amazon versus I think it's like 60 or 70 bucks for the Canon brand. I gotta say this thing works absolutely perfectly. I see no problem with it. And then I also have a trigger trap. Almost never use this thing, but it's kind of cool to have. If you don't know what it is, there's an app you put on your phone, and you can do all kinds of things controlling the camera through your phone. You can use it as like simple cable release, intervalometer, that kind of thing. And then I also have a little cheap remote cable release. Don't love this. It doesn't work very reliably. You have to kind of hold it in just the right spot in front of the camera for it to work, so it's almost never used. But it weighs virtually nothing, so why not keep it in there, right? Of course, spare batteries for the 70D. I got 2 spare ones, and then there's the battery in the camera. And along with that, the charger. Usually I don't carry this in my bag for a day trip like this, but my new car actually has like an outlet in it, so I could, in theory, charge the camera in there if I needed to. Probably pointless to carry it because 3 batteries, let's face it, I'm not going to go through that in a day trip. I'm not going to go through that in a backpacking trip, but, you know. Little air puffer, clean the sensor and whatnot in the field. Great little piece of kit. Very cheap, light, good to have. This is made by the same company that makes my tripod, which it's a Me Photo. I can't remember exactly which Me Photo it is, but Me Photo tripod. This is made by Me Photo. It's called a Sidekick 360 Plus. And all this is it allows me to attach my phone to the tripod. You clamp the phone in here. By the way, my phone is an iPhone 6S Plus. It's also what I'm using to control the GoPro right now. But yeah, that's how I was recording my videos. All the videos before this was recorded with my iPhone, either handheld out like this or attached to this. It had some limitations, mostly field of view. You'll notice the GoPro has a much wider field of view. It might be harder to tell in this video, but in the upcoming videos, you should certainly see a difference. But that's all that is. Pretty simple, handy little thing to have. I like it. I've used it quite a bit. And then this is a spare battery, or a battery pack. I can use it to charge my phone. It can be used to charge the GoPro. It can also be used to charge my headlight. This is a 12,000 milliamp battery, so it's a pretty big one. And then, of course, I got a micro USB cable. This will fit the GoPro and my headlamp. And then this is a lightning cable for the iPhone. Again, probably not going to need that on this trip, but a lot of this stuff tends to stay in the bag regardless. I try to keep it set up to where at any given time I can just grab my bag and go. Because I'm kind of a spontaneous, spur-of-the-moment kind of guy. Now, I also keep these in there. These little pouches. They each hold some various things. This is the GoPro one. So this is where I hold my GoPro stuff. This is a spare battery for the GoPro. We got some tripod mount thingies in here. All kinds of different mounts. And then we've got the waterproof backings for it. Just the little GoPro accessories. If you have a GoPro, then you know that all the little pieces add up quickly. So this keeps it kind of all contained and easy to get to. And then this one is spare batteries. Typically I don't carry them in the case like this. What I do is I will put tape around them to indicate that they're fresh batteries. That way, if I change out a set of batteries, I can distinguish the dead batteries from the fresh ones, and I carry them like this. And I usually bundle them in however many I need. Like these are spares for my headlight, I think is why I did them in 3. So I'll take these out of the pack. But I got spares for my headlight, and then these are for the microphone up there. And I need to throw some AA's in here because my Zoom H1 recorder, which is also a new piece of kit, takes AA's. I actually got that on sale on Black Friday. So, next, my headlight. This is a Black Diamond, I want to say Storm. It doesn't say on it, but I think that's what it is. It's a nice little headlamp. One of the features I really like, it's rechargeable by micro USB. So I can charge this out in the field. It's bright. It's got different brightness settings. It's got the little side light things. It's got a strobe. And then you can lock it. And it's got a night vision one, red light. I can't remember how you activate it, to be honest. But it does. But you can also, if you hold in this button. Oh, there's the night light. You just hold in the button, but if you hold it in even longer, this light on the side will flash and it locks it to where it won't come on in your pack. So, nice headlight. I like it. Anyway, that's enough about a headlight, right? So, next up, this is my Leatherman. Yeah, not much to say about. Multi-tool, handy to have. Good for repairing things, especially camera equipment, tripods. Who knows? Leathermans are very handy little tools. So that's that. Gloves. Now, tomorrow, it's going to be a fairly wide temperature range. We're talking anywhere between from I think they're saying 27, and then later in the day it's going to be near 60. So I got a heavier pair of gloves and then a light pair of gloves. And then, on a similar note, I got kind of a heavy hat. And then I got my buff, which can be good for a lightweight hat when it's just a little bit cool out. And it can also be good when it's hot to help absorb the sweat and keep your head cool. A towel, just a multi-purpose towel, always handy to have. Dry stuff off. It's got a random piece of Velcro stuck to it, so we'll just ignore that. A lighter and a Light My Fire little fire striker here. These always stay in the pack. Having a source of fire, very good. Even on a day trip, you never know what might happen, and fire can be essential for survival. So those are always in the pack. Also always in the pack is a compass, and I'll have a map of the area I'm going to. I don't have it right here, but I'll have that. And then the other essential first aid kit. Mine's pretty minimal. I got some small gauze, some alcohol wipes, some band-aids. I made little Neosporin tubes here, super glue, a couple waterproof matches, Benadryl, and ibuprofen. And then also I usually keep an ace bandage in there. Not in the box, I had to buy a new one. So that's why it's still in the box. And then other things that always stay in the pack just so I don't forget them. Sunscreen, bug repellent, hand sanitizer, wet wipes. All handy things to have. Water filter. Again, something I tend to keep in the bag. I don't intend to need it on this trip, but I have it. It's just a Sawyer squeeze. And then toilet paper. This is way overkill. Usually I just take some, wrap it around my hand. I was feeling lazy, so I just popped the cardboard tube out of the center and stuffed it in a bag. It's fine for this trip. Like I said, it's not like we're going backpacking or anything. This is where I'll keep my food. I'm just going to take some Cliff Bars and stuff. But I also tend to keep what I take backpacking with me, so this has some Crystal Light packets and hot sauce, stuff like that. And then finally, the last couple things I'll touch on, I'll mention my everyday carry knife, which I'll have on me. This is a SOG Fielder. This is currently what I'm carrying every day as my knife. I like it, pretty nice. Seems to do a good job. And field notes, in case I need to write anything down. Usually, again, always in the pack. And then I'll talk about these knives. I'm not taking them tomorrow for a day trip, but these are my knives I'll take backpacking. Some people argue for or against taking a larger knife backpacking. I like having one. This is the one I used to take. It's a Gerber. This is just like a cheap little knife. It does alright. But recently, I replaced that with a Mora knife. And I much prefer this knife. This is a much nicer knife. It feels a lot better. It's a lot sturdier. And it's definitely a lot sharper. So this is the sort of backpacking knife I take. Just by default now. Just thought I'd throw those in there. Not taking them this trip because no real point. But I think that's everything. But yeah, I don't think I want to really go through all of how I put it in the pack or anything. I think that would get pretty boring. This video is already probably pretty long. Let's see. Yeah, we're at over 18 minutes already. I wasn't intending this to be this long, so I'm just going to wrap it up. That's what I carry. I think I mentioned everything except what I'm going to wear, which is boring. We won't get into that. If you really want to know it, leave a comment down below and I can talk about it. And if you want me to do this with a backpacking setup, let me know, and I'm more than happy to do that. Other than that, thank you for watching, and hopefully you're looking forward to the new video, and I'm planning some really good trips for this coming year in 2016, so hopefully you're excited about that, because I certainly am. So I'll see you in the next video.